Hi, in this session we are going to talk about the lipids, the structure and biological importance. First of all, going to talk about what is lipid. Lipids are organic molecules which are essential for energy storage and structural components of cell membrane. And the major types of lipid are triglyceride, phospholipids and steroid. And lipids has a high energy need. They can store 3 times more energy than carbohydrates. So what is the biological role of lipid? So lipids are integral component of cell membrane. It is a main component in cell membrane. And they act as energy reserves in plants and animals. So when oxidization of lipids happens, they can release ATP. And the lipids are important for insulation, protection and signaling. Example is adipose tissue. So and the seeds store lipid. So lipid act as an energy source for the germination. So this is a picture of cell membrane. You can see there are many types of lipids in the cell membrane. So the lipids are a main component in cell membrane. This is a picture of adipose tissue. You can see the cells. So what is the difference between fats and oils? The fats are the one which is at solid state at the room temperature, and the oils are at the liquid state. And the fats are mainly from sources animal, and the oils are mainly from the sources plant. And the chemical composition is basically same. They both have carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, and the both of their fats and oil energy density is high. So as chemical composition, both fats and oil contain fatty acid, glycerol and ester bonds. This is a comparison of different types of fat in main components, lipid examples. So what are the components of lipids? Glycerol. The chemical formula is C3H8 and O3. So there are 3 hydroxyl group in glycerol. And the other component is fatty acid. So there is long hydrocarbon chain and carboxyl group. So there are many different types of fatty acid in tissues, more than 70 types. And these fatty acid differ in chain length and saturation. This is an example of glycerol molecules. You can see there is 3 carbon molecules and 3 hydroxyl groups. So this is an image of a fatty acid. There is a carboxyl group. Saturated with unsaturated fatty acids. So in saturated fatty acids, there are single carbon-to-carbon bonds, and they are solid state at room temperature. And the saturated fatty acid can be unsaturated fatty acids can be differentiated into monounsaturated and polyunsaturated. In monounsaturated ones, there is one carbon-to-carbon bond, and polyunsaturated ones, there are multiple carbon-to-carbon bonds, and both these unsaturated fatty acids are in liquid form. So the saturated one has more solid fats, and the unsaturated ones are more oils. So this is example in unsaturated ones. You can see the difference. The formation of triglyceride. The formation of triglyceride, we call that is esterification. So when glycerol combines with 3 fatty acid, it forms the triglyceride. And the bond formed here is a ester bond. And the reaction type we call condensation or esterification. So the lipid properties depend on the chain length of fatty acid and the degree of saturation. When the glycerol combined with 3 fatty acid, hydrogen is released and the triglyceride is formed. So the process here, esterification and hydrolysis. Energy content of lipids. As we talked previously, lipids yield about 3 times more energy than carbohydrate, and there is high carbon hydrogen content. So lipids release more ATP when oxidized, and the final products are the carbon dioxide, H2 and ATP. And lipids store as fat in animals and oils in plants. And lipids act as a main energy source during fasting and starvation. So this is the diagram which illustrates how lipids important in cellular respiration process. So this is the life cycle of a lipid droplet, how this happens. The summary is lipids are key biomolecules for structure, energy and metabolism. So though there is a difference in fat and oils, the only difference is physical differences. Because fat is in solid form and oil is in liquid form. But they have a similar chemical composition. And when glycerol combined with fatty acid via esterification, the triglycerides are formed. And the lipid is very high energy rich molecule. So these lipids are important for survival and growth. That's all. Thank you.